This here is the Toyota Urban Cruiser Ebella. It is Toyota's first ever all-electric car for India. And we've been driving it in and around Bangalore for almost half a day. And we have come to a realization that this car is actually a mixed bag. So it hits some spots and it misses some. But what are those pros and what are those cons? Well, that's exactly what we're going to tell you in the course of this video. So do stick around. When it comes to design, it is one of the big important factors when you're considering an EV, and Mahindras have shown us that, one of the reasons for their popularity. And on that front, well, the Toyota doesn't really start on very good footing because, as you can see, it's not really a very big looking SUV. It looks small and sporty, but then it also doesn't really have a very distinct front end design. But then when you move to the side, you'll find that it's got nice flared arches at the front, haunches at the back, and nice looking 18-inch wheels. So all of that adds that bit of sportiness, muscle. So it's small but muscular. That's the kind of feel you walk away from when you look at the Ebella, and also reasonable ground clearance. But again, it's if you're looking for a design that really gets people talking, this is not it. But if you want something that fits in and allows you to go about your business, then I think this design works. And now let's check out what it looks like from the back. So there's nothing really to write home about the Ebella's rear end design either. It's quite generic in that sense. We see so many SUVs running connected tail lamps. This one does not. And of course, you'd be able to tell that it's the Ebella from a distance, given its proportions. But again, no real design elements to talk about or get excited about. Now, when you step inside the Ebella, the thing that catches you is the overall design, which is very unlike a Toyota. And then when you look closer, you will find that the quality levels are similar to what you get, let's say, in the High Cross and High Rider. But the competition in this class offers a lot more. And that's something that buyers in this segment will find underwhelming in this car. Also, design-wise, everything is pretty close. So you don't have that sense of space, even though it is in the same segment as, let's say, the Windsor, which is hugely spacious, feeling-wise as well as the Creta. So that's something to keep in mind on the interior of the Ebella. Now, when it comes to features, again, there is not a lot to write home about. Of course, it has things that you expect. It's got ventilated seats. It's got dual screen. Not the biggest touchscreen systems that you get in this class, but it is a touchscreen system. You've got wireless charging. And then you've also got a sunroof, moonroof, sky roof, whatever you might call it, but it does not open. You only get this slider here. The glass pane is fixed, and even though Toyota says it's panoramic, it's not. It's a little bigger than what you get in a single pane. So on the features front, again, what the competition offers, I think the Ebella needed to offer more to convince its set of buyers that, okay, this is a worthy buy. So it checks the boxes, most boxes, but not all boxes. So that's also something that you must keep in mind. Now, when we talk about sitting at the back, if you're going to be chauffeur driven, there are a few positives. Number one, it's very easy to step inside the car. It doesn't matter whether you're old, young, no matter what you're wearing. It's quite easy to step inside. The door also opens wide. And then when you're inside, the seat itself is comfortable. It's cushy. You have good back support. And the space, as you can see, this is set to my driving position. And the amount of knee room on offer is fantastic. Shoulder room too, for 3 abreast, is very good. One of the better ones maybe in this class. But the only 2 big issues, or issues if you are tall, I'm 5'8", And as you can see, I barely have any headroom. So if you've got a hair bun like my son does, or if you're taller, chances are your head will foul with the roof, and that's not very comfortable. And the second thing is the floor is quite high. So the distance between the seat and the floor is not a lot. So if you sit like this, you can see there's absolutely no thigh support. So you'll always have to sit like this, move around to find something comfortable. But if you're going to be using it in the city for short distances for 3 people, the amount of space on offer really is very good. And talking about the boot, it's not very large. This loading height is also a little on the higher side. And then on the inside, the space between the floor and the parcel tray isn't much. So there's not, I mean, you can put a full-size suitcase, but just one, and maybe a couple of carry-on luggage, but not all of it together. And under the tray, you've got your charging wires. So boot space-wise, nowhere close to the standard for sure. One of the highlights of the Ebella has to be the way it drives. We'll just run you through the powertrain first. It's got a 61 kilowatt hour battery for this E3 version. You also have a version with a lesser or a smaller battery pack. The torque output for both is the same at 193 Newton meters, but the motor on the top spec one makes around 170 horsepower. Now these are of course figures, but when you start driving in the real world, compared to what its peers offer, the Ebella is much nicer to drive as a car. And it starts with the steering response. It's, let's say, not the most alive, but in terms of response, it's quick, it's predictable, and you can completely get along with it. It doesn't feel totally disconnected, and so that kind of involvement stays. But that's just part of it. The real joy begins in the way it handles. It feels like a much lighter car. It doesn't have that sort of heaviness that you generally feel in EVs. You want to make quick direction changes, change lanes, you want to throw it in a corner. It just responds very predictably, very nicely, like we're used to seeing some lighter, smaller cars. And the same can be felt under braking. The power, the response, the predictability, the way you can modulate it, it all goes really well, like it would in a car that's meant to be driver-oriented. But it's not just that the Ebella handles well or feels good dynamically. Even in terms of ride, now we're on an inside road in a village around Bangalore. It's a pretty steep speed breaker. But the ride again, it's not harsh, it's not brittle. Of course, there is that bit of firmness in it, but not uncomfortable. Plus, the damping is really good. So it doesn't pogo at all. It just goes up and settles down beautifully. It also manages to round the bumps really well. And it's running 18-inch wheels. So the ride and handling balance on this car, I think Toyota / Maruti have done really wonderfully well there. Steering response, braking. So overall package, if you like driving, I think easily a strong highlight for the Ebella. Now, as we read out the powertrain figures for you at the start, it's not mind-blowingly powerful, not the most powerful in its class, but it is quick enough really. And you can feel that in normal mode, you can feel that like I said, nice strong brakes. You can feel that in the normal mode, you can feel that in eco, and of course you can feel that in sport. These are the 3 modes that you get. The only difference really within these modes is how quickly the accelerator gets into the game mode. So in eco, you can step on it and it takes a little while before it gets on, but once it gets on, it goes. Similarly, in normal mode, much faster than eco, but not as much. And then in sport, it's instant. And not that you need to drive it in sport at all. You can just keep it in normal and it feels quick enough, easy to modulate, even in city traffic. So quite well balanced, quite well judged overall driving. ride, handling, powertrain. So quite impressive. The one downside really when it comes to driving the Ebella is the visibility. It's not as great, and it's a relatively small car in that segment. We would have expected better visibility, especially around the hood area, at the front, at the back through the C-pillar, but that's not the case. Now, before we deliver the verdict on the Ebella, we thought we'll unpack this SUV for you. We'll talk about the pros and cons, just reiterate them so you have a better idea. The pros first, of course, is the fact that it is one of the best or better driving EVs in its segment. So if you want something that feels nimble, that feels light, that responds to your steering inputs or quick direction changes very light-footedly, then the Ebella makes a lot of sense. It's also quick, maybe not as quick as some of the others in the segment, but quick enough to keep you completely involved. Then again, brakes, very nice feedback, feel some, you can modulate them. So when it comes to driving dynamics, I think the Ebella really is the one to choose in its class. Also, the ride, not bad at all. Then of course, if you want something which is spacious enough, shoulder room wise, to seat 3, again, the Ebella does well there. And then of course, third strong positive is the fact that it is a Toyota. But then there are a whole set of cons as well. It starts from the fact that it doesn't have very good road presence. It's a small looking SUV, and then when you step inside, it doesn't have the feature set to help you differentiate. It doesn't even have a full length sunroof. It doesn't open. Quality of plastics is not great. And then even when you move back, of course there's space for 3 people, but the headroom's limited and the feeling of space is very limited because everything is black, and then the seats are very close to the floor, and so for long distances, it just doesn't feel like a place that you want to be. Boot also, I mean, it's not all that big. You can throw in a one check-in big suitcase, maybe some carry-ons, but that's about it. So if you are looking for, and this is the verdict time, if you're looking for an EV from Toyota, this is clearly your only option. If you're looking for an EV in this category that is nice to drive, again, this is a very good option. Now, there could be one more positive when Toyota announces the price, and they could completely shock us with fantastic pricing. We don't think that's going to happen, but if it does, then the value equation goes up completely, and so that'll be another reason for you to consider the Ebella. So that was the Ebella for you. Thank you so much for watching, and we'll see you soon.